Hi, kia ora. Kia ora homa. And to those of you who are out there maybe watching or listening or stumbled across this page, kia ora. This is a new kind of initiative to get the excitement around sport started again in our rohe. And this Hautipua platform we're gonna use to get into the clubs and get into the codes and see what makes them tick over these, what's made them tick over these last few weeks, and what's gonna hopefully bring some excitement to a possible start of sport in the next couple of weeks. So Hautipua was all about sports profiles, and watch out for more kaupapa coming our way on this platform. Anyway, we've got the Te Puna Rugby Club with us. So Eke and myself are running this platform. And yeah, it's basically a question and answer show with a bit of chat, bit of kōrero, bit of rubbish spoken, bit of truths here and there, but ultimately it's about just getting some excitement for the season. So kia ora Ike, kia ora bro, how's things?
Yeah, kia ora cuz, good, thank you. Yeah, pretty excited to get on here and talk a few yarns.
Nice. I see you've got the flash backdrop there. I mean, yeah, bit admin, bit technological deficient in this on this computer today, but I'm lucky that one of us has got it sorted. So want to talk about who we got supporting us tonight?
Yeah, well, we're all learning new skills, and to be honest, I don't really want to show you my background because yeah, we'll just leave that to your imagination. But yeah, pretty stoked with my virtual background there. Giving our show a little plug.
Nice.
So yeah, and now it's awesome to have these familiar faces along to the show tonight to yeah, spin a few yarns. So
yeah, hard. Ka pai. Oh, got a visitor. Got a baby. Ka pai. So we'll start here. We've got just a big mihi to you, Caden. E mihi ana ki a koe, ko te koto tima. Ko te koto tima. Mo tērā tau. Engari i tēnei wā, e mihi ana ki a koe i roto i ngā ahuatanga o te wā. Tēnā koe, Caden.
Tēnā koe e te matsua ke. Ai mihi mai kia mātou, Te Puna. Kua tau mai nei ki te pahu kōrero, me ki rā o tira mihi mai ki te hunga whakarongo. Reira, ai, tēnā koe o tira, tēnā tātou. Kia ora.
Kia ora. So, kia ora, Caden, who we've got here with you tonight? You and your ragtag team of mates.
I'll probably call them your ragtag mates there. Now we've got the rangatira of Ngāti Ranginui o Te Aihe at the bottom there, Mauri ora. And then we've got the DS.
Mauri ora.
Kia ora.
Cheer. So yeah, we'll DS. Kia ora, cuz.
Kia ora, cuzzy.
Kia ora, cuz. Hey, we if those club walls could talk, there'll be a few stories about me, you, and the cuzzy AK being flung around. So I think it's quite. I think it's quite fitting we got you first to talk about a bit of history about our club. So tell us more about Te Puna Rugby Club, bro, and your memories of how we grew up.
Yeah, it's going back a few moons, but yeah. No, we pretty much lived the life as young fellas. Our whole week revolved around what was going to happen on the weekend. We all looked forward to training. We all looked forward to catching up with each other, even though we had only just saw each other a couple hours earlier. Just the memories of running around, training. We had a real good bond, all us boys back in those days. We all lived together, lived in the same hapu. obviously went out onto the field together. So that bond was always there with us. But just that pride and passion to represent our club.
Yeah. No, awesome, cuz. And I mean, our club is, and I say our club because, you know, of course we're going to have Te Puna as the first club on the show. It was never going to be anyone else. but I say our club is 100 years old. And in that 100 years, there's been so many different achievements and whatnot. But tell me, there's a story going around that that there may be a first 400 gamer this year. Talk to me about how many games you've played, cuz, for the club.
You know, at the moment it's still just a story, bro. We won't go any further than that. I don't know who's writing the story, but yeah, we'll wait and see. So I'm 5 games away from 400, 395.
Oh, podcast.
I don't think I didn't want to play 395 games. It just so happened that I played that many. But yeah, the body's really feeling it. It's I don't know how the hell it hangs in there. But geez, yeah, we'll just have to wait and see, eh? Wait and see.
Oh well, yeah, fair enough.
If I get out there, bro, pull me off, please.
Well, I think Hayward and I have both had the privilege of lining up next to you in probably most of those games. Yes, but bro, I just want you to have a bit of a corridor about those early ones. So take us back to when you sort of first your first years. If you can give us, if you don't mind, telling us your debut year and what it was like back then. What was the club like? And I assume you were playing in a double-digit number back then. So I'll let you explain that.
Yeah, shit. Well, that would have been what's that? 1999, I think, 98.
I think it was a little bit earlier than that, cuz.
Was it?
Oh,
97?
96, 96.
97, 96.
Yeah, right.
Fresh out of school, bro. Back then I thought I could take the whole world on like we all thought we could back then. Yeah, but pretty hard to remember these first games. But I can tell you a bit about, well, the aftermatch. Back then they were still smoking inside the club back then. So no, it was just, yeah, it was unreal, man. You know, see all the old faces and all that up there. It was it was something to bloody look forward to. But even on the rugby side of things, you know, the game was rough, bro. It was rough back then. One game I do remember was the time we I think we had a fight against bloody Rangiru. Patrick started the fight. I'm sure it was old Mr. Chisholm was the coach that day, or the ref that day, sorry. And this big fight, bloody broke out on the field. Mr. Chisholm laid on the ground. The ref just sat there and watched us and turned around and he looked at us and says, "Are you fellas finished yet? So you ready to carry on playing rugby?" But that's what it was like back then. As a young fella, you're like, "Holy shit, what's going on here?" And you run straight to the back and hide away. So yeah, those days, bro, you get tackled and then punched in the face just to, and they'll just do that just to look at you and say, "Hey, watch out, little boy."
Yeah. Oh yeah, cuz I remember those games. I remember those days. Far out. Yeah, they were rough, alright. Wasn't you're allowed to ruck back then, and you're allowed to run in at a ruck from 20 meters away and just lay someone out. So yeah, different days back then. Different days.
Our physio was I think it was a milk bottle.
Yeah.
And Uncle run on the field and splash some water on you. You're up, or you're get up, carry on.
Yeah, 100%. No, I mean, cuz. And definitely whānau. You know, our club is built on whānau, so and we will speak more of our whānau connections later. But you've had the privilege to play not only with your brother but with your young fella. So tell us more about about how our club is famous for things like that.
Yeah. I mean, it's always a privilege to play alongside your cousins, alongside your brother even. But they had the opportunity to play alongside my young fella.
Nice.
Something I always look forward to doing. Something I know we spoke about when we were younger. And, shows your age, shows how old we are. But no, that was an awesome buzz, bro. It was me. But yeah, that was a good day for us. I think we all played that day. All our sons played there when we all jumped on.
Yeah. That was a good day. It was a good day, Chas.
Well, tell you what, DS, you're a club legend, and it's people like yourself who hold New Zealand grassroots clubs together. Who think they retired, but they don't know what the word means. So out comes the boots again, and then off you go out onto the paddock. And I think every club around the country has these types of men. And bro, really hope you get to that 400, bro. It's that'll be a hell of a feat, and there'll be a few of us there waiting on the sideline when you come off with some special water. Afterwards.
I know the Fords coach came. Dan.
Oh,
I know the Fords coach, bro, of the Prem, so I might be able to put a good word in for you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
bro, the mind's saying yes, bro. The mind's saying yes, but the body and the mind are fighting against each other.
Awesome, my cousin.
It's whoever comes out on top at the end of the day. We'll see.
Yeah. Mate.
Every club has traditional rivals and special opposition that they come up against. So I just want to come to you, Te Aihe, and ask you, who are Te Puna's traditional rivals, and what's some of the taonga that Te Puna plays for, and even some special tournaments that the club gets involved with.
Yeah, cheers, AK. So rivals for Te Puna, I guess we all can't look past Rangatoa. That's our first and foremost rivals of the year. Got the trophy playing for the Gillies Cup. So that's always a tough battle. I can't talk about the history and how far back and who's won it the most. I'm sure you will be able to talk about who's won it the most and stuff like that. What else we got? We got the Manu Trophy. We've got we've got the VK tournament that happened every February. And I guess to today, to nowadays, is probably still all those people, all those teams, like Rangatoa and stuff like that, but then we're looking at the likes of Tauranga Sports and the Te Pukis, the Mount Maunganuis, who are up there at the pinnacle of club rugby at the moment. So that's who we're looking to strive for, and I think today and nowadays, for the future, we hope to keep that rivalry between all the clubs and set that standard.
Yeah. Choice, bro. You you mentioned about some sort of like maybe some more modern day rivals, the Taurangas and the Te Pukis and that, and they certainly probably have become, that they've probably moved themselves into that category, and the caliber of rugby that's played nowadays. You just want to talk us through your preparation going into a big game like that? Is there anything that you sort of use, or what's your routine before you go into a big game?
Yeah. I won't give too much away because I know there'll be people listening out there and they'll try and deviate me from my routines. But what I usually do is I actually start my preparation on a Friday night. I pack all my bags, get all my stuff ready to go for the next day. That way, the next morning, it's all about just relaxing, not having to worry, and not forgetting anything when you're at the fields already and you forget your boots or mouth guard like some of us do. It's already there, packed the night before, and then so all you got to worry about is the game. And then so yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's like your ritual, before you before any game is to do all your stuff the night before.
Yeah, that's one.
choice. Hey, and I just want to throw this down back to DS as well. DS, is there any more traditional rivals or taonga that we play for as a club?
Yeah, Brad. We play for the King Cup in the Tuakorana Shield against our cousins over the hill, Raungaiti. Always a challenge, bro. These fellas there, growing up against, playing against these guys, bro, you know, they're similar to us. They have a lot of pride and passion for their jersey. I think they taught us a few things or two. And then likewise, we taught them a few things or two. But yeah, the cousins over there, bloody vicious. Enemies on the field and good mates off the field with these guys.
Oh yes. My bodies, I can still feel those games now. Every single one of them, even if we played them when we were 17. Yeah, still bloody sore from that game.
Yeah, so much bloodshed on the field of those games.
But you're right though, because they're the epitome of hate each other on the field. But after the game, bro, they were just, you know, they really loved seeing us. You know, us going over there and him coming over here, bro. They really, and they would never ever forget our connections, our whakapapa connections. So I know a few of the boys went and played for them for the Koroneihana this year, or last year. Yeah, last year to have a run with them. So that's how strong our whakapapa links are with our Ngāti whānau. So yeah, I've had some of my greatest memories in the jersey was against those cousins.
In our younger days, I think we used to dread having to go and play against them, to be honest. Yeah, but we at the end of the day, we done it. A few black eyes and bloodshed here and there.
Oh yeah. The running mall. Ka pai, too much ohi. I'd like to think that Ohi and Caden are there headlining these rivalries for many more years. Because there's one thing I had to talk to our Kazi Pariro about at the last year against Wahara was, for these trophies to stay alive, we have to pass that kind of korero down to our kids. So you know, we're lucky that we've got kids that are playing in these games now. So Caden, we're going to pass the mantle on to you fellas, bro, and carry these rivalries on, which is probably a segue to this next cope by Caden. We'll bring you into the mix now. We'll start here. So 2018, how did 2018 end for the club, bro? And talk to us about from between that moment and grand final day at Te Puna 2019. Have a quarter about that, cuz.
I just think going back to 2018, I think we had all the faith and all the belief that we could crack it, get to that top position and knock whoever we were playing off. And yeah, I think we're building really, really well. And then come semis, our first time we'd been in the semis, to be victorious. Yeah, that was an awesome achievement. Definitely awesome for our supporters and a few of the players after that up the club there. That was a long night.
Long couple of nights.
I think just going to the finals, it almost seemed like we weren't sort of in it. And I think that probably, I don't know, it's probably a mix of a few things, but yeah, probably just being proud to be there type of thing. It was probably the kaupapa then.
Yeah, sure.
But then moving into 2019, last year, I think, we weren't sort of satisfied with that. We sort of wanted to take the next step up. But yeah, I won't speak too much about the games and all that, just because, I know it's been sort of spoken about quite a bit. Too much to AK for that write-up the other day. Neki. Yeah, that was pretty much, it sums up the year. It sums up the year all right. But might just speak about like sort of what happened behind the scenes.
100%.
So I think like sort of there were plans put in place by the Hāpai o Ki Muri, if you will, from a while back to reach that goal. And just as an example, the likes of AK, growing up home there, 24/7 on the phone, having visits on the laptop, planning for our club and for our boys, and every single phone call was about rugby. Like you'd expect, I don't know, some teaching phone calls to pop in there. That is his career, but now it was all rugby. So yeah, that's just an example of one man from our club. But there's hundreds, well, just about 100 of those people just mahiing hard for our club who sort of live for Te Puna in that. So I think that was what sort of pushed us up to the next level, just having that sort of backing, and it sort of just made it easy for the players there. I think that they probably just sort of filtered through to our culture. A lot of last year was sort of trying to repay our people, trying to pay them back in any little way we can, so like, I don't know, doing the dishes or whatever, packing down our club. I know we had a few club days, jigging up our club and whatnot, just in preparation for the year and really just to get our club pumping for our people. Yeah, so I think that was the big theme last year, and I think that sort of led into our results in it, I think. Yeah.
Nice, cuz. And you mentioned we're not gonna talk about the games, but let's talk about what the community experienced especially on those semi-final and finals days, bro. I mean, paint us a picture for those people out there that haven't seen the videos. Paint us a picture of what it looked like, bro, around semi-final day and final day.
Yeah, well, if you're not from Tauranga or you don't know Te Puna, it's sort of on the outskirts of Tauranga, and there's two roads in, but the closest road in from town is the road that most people take to get to our club. And all you had to do was drive down that road on those days and see that our community was sort of backing our club, blue and black balloons and decorations and that all the way up the road, all the way up the Te Puna road there, leading all the way to our club. And then sort of having, I don't know, hundreds, thousands of cars just lined up along the streets to come watch this game. And I don't know if you've, for the listeners who haven't seen Te Puna, it's built a bit like Eden Park, just surrounded by by seats for our supporters to watch in it. So there's just people everywhere going up the hills and whatnot surrounding the field. So it was just a wicked atmosphere, and definitely the biggest crowd I've ever played in front of. Yeah.
Both weekends, cuz? Both weekends.
Both weekends. Yeah, that's it.
There was a few nights on back to back there too. ATL here, semi-finals and finals night.
Yeah, bro. Whoa.
I remember leaving the club on the semi-finals night, and I was basically on the other side of midnight, and there was still a few of the dress gears walking around drinking that night, bro. So the boys actually had a good night then, and we knew they were going to put it together the next week. So too much. So 2019, what else? 2019 was our centennial. Can you talk to us a bit more about that centennial, Caden?
Yeah. Oh, I think was just a nice sort of occasion for us to bring everyone in who'd contributed to our club and sort of celebrate all our hononga and connections and that. So we had like teams from France and that, supporting from when our cohort went over there and sort of met up with some of our French whakapapa and that, and sort of joined up with them. So we had a group of them come over and play our oldies, which is wicked. And then we had a whole bunch of sort of other teams and people from all over Tauranga and New Zealand to come and support. Sort of our day. It's 100 years. That's a mean achievement, wicked achievement, and yeah.
Awesome.
Yes, I'll come to you, DS, bro. How was your liver during that centenary weekend? Was it good catching up with a few old faces from back in the days?
Yeah, bro. Yeah. I only stay down the road, bro, and honestly, I don't know how I got home every night. Woke up one morning, I had bloody dirt and grass all up me. I must have crawled home or somehow got home anyway. But that was awesome, bro. That was a mean buzz there, mate. Oh, those nights.
Yeah.
But I think everyone was still living on their buzz, their buzz from the all the cousins that are overseas. Gave them the chance to come home and feel that excitement that we had been feeling throughout our season.
Yeah.
And you could tell that to them it was it really meant something. For us back here it was like a little kid waiting for Christmas, bro. Those couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Especially when we won it, bro. It was like, yeah, Christmas Day, Christmas morning, go and open your bloody Christmas present. I've never ever seen our club that packed, and just all the smiles on everyone's faces, even the opposition, bro. Even they were smiling and happy for us.
There's been a lot of coverage and a lot of people talking about the Prems and the development and that final. Bro, you were the coach of the senior reserves last year, and you probably had the hardest final out of everyone to go over and play, and you had to you actually had to do it 2 weeks before the other teams went into the final. So just can you just relive that game for us? I mean, the stories of being down 19-0 at half time. Bro, what did you say to your team?
Honestly, bro, I walked on and I said to them, "Fuck you cunts. Mind my language." Hey, you got us into this shit. Get us out of it. I can't help you anymore. Those are my exact words. So, and then I turned around and walked off the field, and because they knew that. Every time I spoke like that, I was serious, and our whole campaign, I was just trying to install in themselves that I was the only one that had the confidence and the trust in them that they could do it, but it was all about themselves. They had the ability to beat any team on any day, bro. I know they'll be out the front if they actually pulled their heads in. They'll be out the front with any first division team. It was sort of like deep down inside they had to work themselves to win that competition, and that game there, you just saw that spark in the eye once I walked off, and then the whole attitude just changed, bro. They started turning to each other and they picking each other up and just guiding each other through the game, and then that hunger come back. During midway through that second half, I think we finally got our first try, and then that just led on to many more tries, and we played we played mind games with Matakana there for a bit. I stuck a few good players on the bench, and then had a few phone calls the night before from players crying to me that they should be starting, and I just sort of said, "Look, mate, just thank me when we win the competition, eh? Thank me when you got that medal around your neck." And yeah, thank God we did get it in the end. It was, yeah. Oh, bro, if you watched the theory there, bro, it was unbelievable.
Yeah, it must have been a sight to see. All right, now probably the other four of us were probably at the Tauranga Domain that day, and I can tell you exactly how we found the news out. We're warming up for the Prem game, and Auntie Donna was on the phone to someone on the island, and she was giving us regular updates. And we'd heard about 19-0 at half time, and you had to think to yourself, oh, it's probably gone. And then the reports of comeback started to come through, and Auntie Donna was relaying the score to me. And then finally, just before we were ready to run back in to put our jerseys on, she ran over and she said, we won 26-25, we won. And I'll tell you what, it just took our whole warm-up to another level. When we got back into the sheds, the boys were buzzing, and it was then that was probably really set ourselves alight. And I think we've done a pretty good job that day on Tauranga Sports at the Domain. But there was that's a story for the ages there, DS.
Yeah, bro.
It kick-started the celebrations, and I think the reserves had about 5 or 6 nights of forgetfulness, even before the time the development Prems got to their finals day.
Yep, we were Te Puna's first champions. And we lived the champion life for 2 weeks. Sitting there hoping and watching in awe of you fellas. Crack up thing was, I think one of our guys, the boys, after the development game, they came up to our tent and had the medal around their necks and come up and shook our hands. One of our guys gave, "Welcome to our world break. Welcome to our champion world." They're all excited, celebrating for that bloody last 20 minutes. Yeah, we've been celebrating for 2 weeks, brother. Welcome to our world.
A few stats there. For before we jump into this to the next section with AK. A few stats. So 1919, our club was established. From 1919 to I think the next 5 years, our club won the championship. And then had a year lost the next year, and then won again, and then didn't win it again till in the 1930s, and then there was a big break until 63, where they won the Tauranga Championship again, and then but the Bay Wide, since the Bay Wide has been going, Te Puna hasn't won a Premier Bay Wide Championship. They won a Division 1, won a couple of Colts, one's a Minter City, but when people say, oh, this is our first championship in 100 years, it's actually our first Bay Wide Championship in regards to Prems. So that's a few stats we're going to check out there. We've played in a couple of finals. AK Shu played in a couple of finals. One lost a few. But one other stat, and I want AK to confirm this, is how much money was spent over the bar over on the finals weekend, AK?
So that finals weekend, if I can remember rightly, I think it was close to 50,000, 50K.
Wow.
Yeah, bro.
Ran out of beer a few times, and there was someone constantly going up to the wholesales to pick carloads of beers up.
Yeah. I think it was Auntie Donna that was going up all the time.
I'll tell you what, the clean-up on the Monday was a huge effort, but in fairness, there was a lot of people that turned up and helped clean up that morning. So, well worth it, and everyone deserved their drinks that weekend.
Nice. Over to you, Cuz.
All right, so we're going to do a bit of a breakout here, but before we do that, I just want to give our guests, a special plug for their mahi. So if you can see here, just want to plug their mahi. So we've got the Professor Bud design up in the corner, as well as the Ngāti Ranginui iwi, and we've got Acon Industries down here. So these are our sponsors for the show tonight. Thank sponsors for getting them behind the show. And we certainly appreciate your support, and thank you for donating some giveaways. And then also want to give a shout out to our sponsors, both Hayward and I running the show. We've got, as a sports profiling program, we've got Rebel Sport, we've got Sky Sport, and we've got Holden Club Sport. We just want to thank our sponsors. I'm sure if we plug them enough, they'll come to the party and they'll give us some free product.
I'm sure you got Kingfisher there somewhere too, bro.
Oh, bro, there'll be heaps that I've missed out. But we're being a sports show. Just thought I'd give our sports logos a bit of a plug. See what they'll come back with. All right, we're going to jump into a bit of a share screen, brothers. This next part here, I'm going to randomly select one of these, and I'm going to do some quick fire questions on one of you. So if I just go here, I've got this wheel all set up, ready to go. All right, so I'm just going to bang this and see who it ends on. And there you go. All right,
second part of me.
So we're coming to you, DS. We've got some questions, bro, that we're gonna fire at you. They're just one word answers we're after here. So it's just your go-tos. So just think of an answer and just throw it out there. We won't go into any detail about it. So, all right, brother, tell us, what is your go-to for YouTube?
At the moment, bro, addicted to fishing.
Music, what's on your playlist?
Bob Marley.
Takeaway fix, where do you go for that?
KFC.
You're buying a raffle, what raffle number do you go for?
Number 8.
What's your pre-game feed?
Toast and porridge.
Athlete.
Trade Me, what do you look at on Trade Me?
Lately, push bikes, mountain bike.
Ooh.
Alcohol.
Steiny's great. Steiny.
Seafood.
Kinners.
Place to holiday.
Multi-hawk.
And you got the remote in your hand. What channel are you pushing in?
Discovery. Gold Rush.
Cowboy, DS. Cowboy. Thanks, brother.
Chat.
Me. Kapai. So boats would have been a trade me one too. A shoot boat, but you've got a good boat there. Right. This next part of our show, we're gonna profile, or we're just gonna go around the room here and just ask these questions. So every club has some rising stars or some young guns that are coming through the ranks. Now that was Caden and Tiahi when we were playing. Cousins, you two were these were the guns, and I think AK was the gun AK and Shu were the gun when we were coming through. I was never a gun, a dud.
Shotgun.
Yeah. Oh, I was actually just thrown on there to throw some fists around, but yeah. So we'll start with you, Caden. Talk to just who are some of the young guns coming through, especially pick a young gun coming through for the club.
Just one? Oh, because there's a few, man.
Yeah.
There's a young team, young team of guns. But I think a couple of the youngest ones like Ty and Poe, those fellas are leading the way with the results, even at the academy level there, as well as a way up there. Yeah, just like fit, strong, onto it. So I think those fellas. Another one is probably Gus, but I don't know if he's already risen. He might have already risen. But, yeah, should be excited to see what he's excited to see him back in some form this year. Yeah.
Awesome. Tiahi.
Yeah, I'm pretty much the same, eh? I like the looks on what Taitoa can bring to our squad, but I just want to give a special mention to Josh Kingsbury.
Yes.
He's definitely one that stood out to me. He was on form last year for the development, especially, and so
Good footballer.
Yeah, he's quick, white hawk, if you will. I think he's fit, he's fast, and he can score tries from everywhere. So he's one to look out.
No, nice. Shu, you got some young guns coming through the ranks from our out home.
Yeah, I like the looks of. I'm going to put my money on this on a roughie. I always like the underdog. I like the looks and attitude of this young fella Ollie in our team.
Yeah.
Tough as nails, Barry. I've just been watching him, observing how he, his attitude, how he goes about stuff, how he goes about training and all that. He's always keen to learn. The man even turned up to the AGM meeting, sat through the whole meeting. Sitting there looking at him, thinking, "He's this fella." And he'd come over to me and he goes, "Bro, is this the training?" I was like, "No, you're like 2 weeks early, bro. This is the AGM meeting." No, I reckon he's going to go well, bro. He looks fit as. He's up the front. He's pushing. He's making the other boys push. So yeah, I'll put my money on him this year, just to see what he can bring.
Yeah, he won our toughest guy for the pre-season. He got that trophy this year. So, and yeah, the first training we had a full-on contact session, and he ran straight to Moo and took his head off. So, got back up, smiling, and there was after some fitness. So yeah, he's got a bit of heart, that boy. I seen him at the Minden today. He was up the Minden doing that mahi too. So yeah.
The other local young boy, young talent bro is young Kahi Burrell.
Oh, yes.
Obviously, he's always had the goods growing up. I've had the opportunity of coaching him as a young fella. Him and my young fella are similar age, and he's just naturally gifted. He's got that glide about his run, and hopefully if his older brother taps into his attitude and get him out there and confident. I think we got some good rugby watching to come with that young fella.
Oh, I'm trying, Shu. Don't you worry.
One thing we're pretty blessed with out home is a good crop of young fellas come through the last few years. Really blessed that that they've chosen to come home. There was a good gap of 20 years where our young fellas would go to play for Te Puna, go to college and take off to other clubs. And the likes of Tiahi and Jagga Jagga came back afterwards, but Tiahi stemmed that flow. After college, came straight home, and people followed after that. So we're really lucky that Taumata program brought our young guns home. Yeah, and there's heaps of talent out home. At every club, there's heaps of talent. So, ka pai, boys. Hand it over to you, AK.
Yep, choice. Those names that were just thrown out there. I certainly know all those boys, and they are rising stars in their own rights. Just hopefully they've got the drive to want to go on and crack it. So awesome to hear those names come through. Now, one of the reasons why we're on here is because we've discovered this new thing, this whole Zoom business and whatnot, due to being in lockdown. So this is one way that we've all been able to to connect and check in with one another. So my question to you all is, what's one other thing, or what's something else that you've learned during lockdown, or discovered, or rediscovered, and you've liked, and you're going to take it through to the other side of lockdown, or back to normality, if that's even going to be a word anymore. What's something that that you've really valued during this time, and you're going to make it a point of yours to take through once we come out of lockdown? We'll start with you, Te here.
Yep. Got a few things, but if I was to narrow it down, I actually liked building during the lockdown. I built a few things here and there.
Really?
Bit of a Bob the Builder, yeah.
A bit of a hacker.
Yeah. So I got
Another bed base.
Nah, not that quite. Nah, I didn't have enough pallets. It was more of I did a vegetable garden box. Just something simple yet effective. Start growing some vegetables and stuff like that. Shoe racks. I'm in the process of making a surfboard rack.
Yeah.
So a few things, few projects during this lockdown. Yeah.
Nice, mate.
It was this.
Probably spending, bro. Spending unnecessary money. Had the chance to not bloody. We've been locked down. Obviously, you can only go to the full square. But yeah, just having that extra money in the bank, I started to wonder what the hell have I been spending my money on. So that's probably that's just probably the age of myself showing there.
Yes, you're out to your kana.
Yeah. I've obviously just been spending on stupid things, bro. Stuff that I probably didn't need, and you're always searching for that good job to make big money, but at the end of the day, you end up stressing out more just to make more money to gain more stress, I suppose. So especially I've had a good talk to my wife. She's half the problem.
Brave man.
I was gonna say this. Have you discovered online shopping, bro? Because that possibly be your downfall.
Yeah, bro. Online shopping too, bro. I'm always online, bloody buying knick-knack things here and there, and shocking, bro, shocking. Yeah, I spoke to the wife and said, "Hey, you need to cut out your spending, woman. You carry it away." Obviously, he's not here.
All right, we'll come up to you, Caden.
One quick one will probably be pack and save, click and collect. I'll be doing that from now on. And I think, the rest of it I'll probably just, I've been doing a bit of pounamu, doing taonga and that. Got a bit of pounamu before the lockdown. And then picking away on the Dremel there. But other than that, probably just staying home more. That's another thing I'll take through.
We'll see.
Hopefully.
Before I throw it back to you, Hayward, that's it's something that I think we're all going to probably value a bit more is our time. Knowing you all, we all live pretty busy lives, so the lockdown has been pretty good in that respect. We could actually have a bit of time just to chill out and gather our thoughts and do whatever we want to do around our own house. So probably one thing for me that I'm going to take through is just taking time to actually walk outside my house and put my feet in the ground. So actually walk around on the grass in bare feet. I know that might sound funny, but what it actually does is just actually help to ground you, and just connect you back to, your whenua, your house, where you live. So something simple like that I never used to do because it was just too busy. Always time poor, always trying to be here, be there, and then before I know it, the day's gone. So I'm gonna try and make a bit of a thing to every day just go outside and walk around on the grass and bare feet. And I know it's coming up to winter, so I'm gonna have to get hard.
No, awesome, cuz, awesome. Yeah. Just time poor, very time poor, and yeah, this lockdown has definitely showed me, like everyone else, that there are things over and above what we do 9 to 5 to grind and get money. I mean, one of the things I've really enjoyed was taking my young fella for bike rides, because I'll tell you what, if it wasn't for the lockdown, I wouldn't be taking him for bike rides. I don't get home till it's dark, bro. So just teaching him how to navigate the roads was good, because there's no cars on the road. So it was a real good time for me and him. So yeah, all of those things, learning new skills, it's been pretty good. But yeah, we'll flip it back on the side there of the coin is this lockdown is kind of, well, it's stopped sports, and we've had a bit of good news that maybe in level 2 we'll be able to play some code. But just a quick question. So I've got 3 questions to ask the rest of you before we sign out. And the first one is, you just talk to me. What do you think rugby is going to look like from here on out? Maybe not just this year, but club rugby. What do you think club rugby is going to look like for you, for the club, for Te Puna? We'll start with you, Te Aihe.
Yeah, well, that's a good question. It's sort of a grey area, really. But what I'm thinking is like it could be a good in a way where you've got those All Blacks that are going to be playing provincial rugby.
Nice.
Which means there's going to be a lot of high quality rugby being played around the region. So I suppose that's what I'm excited for, is those people that we look up to in the big screen, and rubbing shoulders against them, matching up against grassroots players. Nice, bro. Nice. So was that a bit of a hint that you may be playing in domestic competition later this year? Are you allowed to give that information out? No. I haven't signed with anyone yet. Oh, okay. Yeah. But if anyone is looking for a halfback, hit me up, man. Otherwise I'll be playing for the blue and black. Oh, yeah. Nice. For sure. Got a bit of a new role with the team too, eh? New role with the team? Right? Yeah. So I'm going to be sliding in there as a player coach. Nice. Just whenever I can. Just filling in with Perry whenever he's not around and whatnot. So looking forward to that. Hopefully build on the success of last year. Nice, bro. Natural progression. Caden, what's your thoughts on rugby moving forward?
I just know that this lockdown has affected a few of the local clubs around Tauranga quite heavily with the funding in that. Yeah, I think we've been fortunate to sort of come through the lockdown in a bit of a good place with that. But I just hopefully the rest of the clubs around the Bay have managed to pull something out of their hat and sort of stay afloat. But it'll be a shame to see sort of the number of clubs in the Bay or whatever, or in New Zealand, diminish or whatever, Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, sort of anticipating a bit of that, but hoping that people are staying afloat.
Awesome, bro. Awesome. Shu.
Yeah, bro. I'm hoping everyone's keen to get back into it, financially and all that. I know clubs will struggle, but it only takes 2 sets of rugby jerseys and an oval ball to have a game of rugby. Yeah, just bring back the old school, just keen to just have a run. It's not all about all the fancy stuff, fancy sponsors and all that sort of carry on. It's just your good old grassroots game of rugby, Moro styles, even if we have to
Yeah.
Just get out there and just enjoy the code. I'm pretty sure everyone's probably amping to have a run around. So if we do get back into it, I know the boys will be excited.
Nice, cuz. And the last two questions, boys, and they're quick fire. That's so your toughest opponent. It could be a team, it could be an individual. Your toughest opponent, and who did you look up to? Who was your hero growing up, bro? So we'll start again with you. I hear who's your toughest opponent over the years, bro?
Toughest opponents. For club or just anyone?
Anywhere, bro. Anyone.
Mine would most likely, although I didn't get much involvement with him, but I got to rub shoulders with Aaron Smith when I was involved with the Highlanders. So, man, he's a character. What I got out of him is he's very competitive, that's for sure. He wouldn't let me win in anything.
Oh, nice.
So, I suppose then that's what helps me build the game that I play as well. You know, it's not going to come easy. You've got to work for it. So yeah, that'll be one player that I found hard to play against, especially during trainings. And what was the other question?
Who did you look up to growing up, bro? Who are your heroes? Who did your club heroes?
Easy. For club, it'll probably have to be AK, but he'll be one of them, definitely coming through. You got yourself, the shoes, the tau pennies. I remember when I was a little kid on the side of the rugby club playing in my bare feet during all fellas games, and then looking over at yous. I actually thought yous were the All Blacks. So
we used to think we were too.
Hey?
We were too.
Yeah, so those will be the people that I looked up to, the Prims back in the olden days when I was only a little grown.
Olden days.
Nice, bro. Nice. The olden days. Wow, we're not that old.
Sorry.
Jaden.
Yeah, shucks. The player or team is a bit of a hard one for me. I think sort of going back a few years, old Sean, he was similar to what I was talking about, Aaron Smith. Yes, real similar for myself. Like always competitive at trainings and always wanting to win and always sort of looking down on me as a young fella and wanting to stay ahead. So that was
Nice.
yeah,
That's good though. That's respect.
myself. Yeah. Well, that's how it goes. But my star, well, yeah, a bit of a late bloomer to rugby, so don't care too much to watch it. But when I was a bit of a teenager, yeah, definitely AK. Coming down to the Te Puna club after our college games and watching Te Puna in it, and yeah.
Who actually taught you how to play rugby, bro?
I remember.
Who was your coach at first?
Oh.
Nah.
Oh, I remember someone from Aquinas. We got his name.
Yeah. I remember you growing up, and yeah, you were a gumper right before you started playing rugby, bro. Gump. Too much getting shoot.
Probably toughest opponent, bro. Going back a while, probably there was actually a couple of them from Rangiuru. It was a team I dreaded to play, but one fellow always stood out, bro, and it was a man mountain, bro, or John Tifa.
Oh, yeah, bro.
Yeah, as a young fellow, I tried to tackle him, and honestly, I felt my head go back into my ass. Never started anything like it before. I never ever forgot it, and every time I saw him get the ball, I honestly went hiding just to get away from him. Very fuck, I'm sure he keep lining me up to fucking bump me off. The fellas I looked up to growing up, bro, the likes of JJ Whāpu, the Sunny Kiwis, Mangi Wiki, the likes of them, and even our crazy cousins or the bloody Gus Ormsby and all that.
Right.
They were our heroes back in the day. So yeah, hats off to them.
Yeah. AK.
Oh, geez. Okay. Yeah, well, toughest opponents. I'll probably have to say someone like Cullen Retallick or Red. But like what Te Aihe and Caden have said about being competitive, they, I think when you're trying to go for that those representative honours, it gets really competitive there. So someone like Red was always very competitive, but more at a club level, it was guys like Dan Goodwin and Alamoti Te Pau, and these sort of guys who played in my position, who really, we pushed each other pretty much every game we played against each other. So they would be my toughest opponents. And then, idols of growing up. DS has rattled them off there, but Uncle Vaughan as well, VK for me. He was a huge idol of mine, even though I was quite young when I was watching him, but still remember his style of rugby and what he stood for as a rugby player and as a man, in terms of club man, and how he trained. How he trained was something that I heard the stories about and even got to watch a few times how he trained. So yeah, I sort of tried to grab some of those values in my career and try and put them into action. So yeah.
Nice, Cuzzies. Yeah, I'll tell you what, we're talking about tough opponents. I've got a little bit of a story, and it's with these two buggers, Naramu Simpkins and Wade Pereira. Now, there was a year there that we were all in the Bay training squad together, and back then it wasn't too bad in the gym, and the word got out to those fellas that all HK's coming for them. Every time we played them, man, they used to try and take my head off. They both played for Waka. So yeah, I remember those games all the time. Was like, and then Jakey Rogers and the other team all trying to just take our heads off. So playing against those fellas. But yeah, like Uncle VK, fellas like my heroes were like fellas like Sunny Boy Kiwi, bro, just club heroes. Man, that fella just put people on his ass and played well above his weight. JJ, all the cuzzies that, like Te Aihe said, running around on the side of the field, putting our heads up, and you can see that the uncles, the cuzzies are all there. Thought they were All Black. So yeah, too much, boys. Too much for the chat. Hopefully rugby can start soon, so we can see you fellas out on the field. Hopefully, I'll have a talk to the coach DS to see if you can get a couple of more games under your role. Te Aihe's assistant coach now. You might be able to tell him to sort something out. Hopefully we get some code and we can get this excitement onto the paddock. But yeah, that's just us signing off for the night. Okay, you want to plug our sponsors again?
Yeah, for sure. Big thanks to Professor Bud Designs, Ngāti Ranginui Iwi, and Acorn Industries sponsoring the show tonight. And then also our own sponsors here of the show. Thank you very much for your kind donations. And just on a personal note to you four, just all the best for this year. I've no doubt that we'll see some action soon. So all the best. As you know, I've stepped out of the club for now. Won't be too far though. Be hovering around somewhere, but
not like us.
I just want to wish you all the best for the season. Know that you've got a big target on your back, but deservedly so. And you've got to train that extra harder now to go and defend the titles. And on that note, moving forward with the show, Haywood, a bit of a shout out or a bit of a plea for some other clubs to maybe come forward and and reach out if you fellas are keen to come on the show and answer a few questions, spin a few yarns, get in touch with Haywood or myself.
Yep.
We'll try and get this out. What are we thinking? Every Friday night?
Yeah, hopefully, every Friday night. Put some people get them watching and engaging with these things until the season starts, and hopefully we go through the season and it gets more and more momentum.
Ka pai. Tos.
Ka pai then. Too much, Kazis.
Favorite.
Kumari.
Mori.